namely that antidepressants often do not do what they promise and are in fact causing harm to many.
Dr. Steve Hotze is suing over Obamacare's employer mandate.
It's time for a wellness revolution. Brought to you by Hotze Health and Wellness Center. Honest discussion on maintaining health and wellness naturally to enjoy a better quality of life.
He's the doctor fighting to let you keep your doctor.
Now, Dr. Stephen Hotze.
Welcome to Dr. Hotze's Wellness Revolution. I'm Stacey Banfield here with Dr. Stephen Hotze, founder of the Hotze Health and Wellness Center. And if you have not already done so, download our podcasts at hotzepodcast.com. That's HOTZE podcast.com. Now, this has been a hot topic in the news for a while now, and you hear people talking about, well, I'm gluten-free or I'm sensitive to gluten. And why don't we just get the facts? What does that exactly mean? Should we avoid it? What's it all about, Dr. Hotze?
Well, thank you so much, Stacey, for that absolutely energetic introduction. Glad to have you on board, I guarantee you. I want to remind each one of you that I believe that you need a health coach. You need a doctor and a staff of professionals who can coach you on a path of health and wellness naturally. So as you mature, you enjoy a good quality life. You're full of enthusiasm and vim and vigor. Who wouldn't want to have that? People that are healthy and that have high energy tend to enjoy life a lot more than the slugs. I know that, right?
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk today about gluten sensitivity. What is gluten? Well, gluten is a protein called gluten that's found in grain products, wheat, barley, rye, oats that have been mixed with those products. And this is a protein molecule that when certain people who have a genetic predisposition, an allergy towards this molecule will begin to react. And it can cause a host of health problems. It's been shown, and so this is where you're going to find protein primarily is in your bread products, right? Mm-hmm. Pizza, pasta, your breads, your donuts, your cakes, all those you're going to find gluten in those various products. You're also going to find it it's mixed in a lot of the different foods. They put gluten in to provide a stickiness in certain foods, and they put it in salad oils that they use in various products. It's hidden in many products, and it's a breakdown of your wheat or rye or any of the other grains. So when people react to this, when I studied early and did allergy, we call this simply wheat allergy, and gluten sensitivity is really nothing more than an allergy to wheat. And what you're allergic to is the gluten or the gliadin in the wheat. And so it can cause a host of health problems. It has been shown through numerous medical studies when gluten has been eliminated from the diet of individuals who have certain health problems, particularly problems related to the neurological system, that the elimination of gluten or wheat products or rye or barley or any of the other grain products can improve their health dramatically. And let me give you a list of those 7. One is ataxia, and that's where people have involuntary muscle movements and they can't control their muscles, can't walk without staggering. In epilepsy, in anxiety disorders, in depression and mood disorders, in ADHD, attention deficit, in autism, and in schizophrenia. These 7 conditions are dramatically improved when individuals are put on a gluten-free diet. Now, when an individual has an allergy, the mucous membranes in their systems are lined with mast cells, and those mast cells bind antibodies. When a person has an allergy to a specific substance, whether it's something you breathe in the air, weed, tree, grass, pollen, dust mite, mold, spore, or danders, or a food, wheat, corn, egg, milk, yeast, or soybean are the big 6, but we're talking about wheat now. When you make antibodies to those foods, they float and they bind to the mast cells, and then when you're exposed again to the food, those mast cells will rupture and they release histamine. You all have heard of histamine because you take antihistamines, and that's to block the histamine that's released from the mast cells that line the mucous membranes, even down into the bowel, in our nasopharynx, in our lungs. When these rupture, they spill their contents into the system and they get into the blood. And this causes a host of problems. So a person can, and this is how an allergy reaction to food can have multiple manifestations. It can cause recurrent and chronic sinus congestion and infections. It can cause asthma, foods, wheat in particular. It can cause recurrent bronchitis. It can cause skin disorders. It can cause severe migraine headaches. It can cause irregularities in the heart rhythm. It can cause gastrointestinal problems with bloating and belching and gas. And so gluten can be a big problem. And all you have to do to see if you feel better, if you have any of these problems that we've talked about, including some of the neurological problems, do a complete elimination of all simple carbohydrates from your diet. Mm-hmm. Just eliminate them. Any grain product, eliminate it. Just eliminate all carbohydrates. And when you do that, then your body is no longer going to be reacting to that particular food substance to which it may be allergic.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Dr. Hotze, because I know that right now you're following the ketogenic diet and have a lot of success, and that is eliminating carbs from your diet.
Right.
And a lot of people are on that program, and they've had a lot of health benefits from that.
And when you eliminate the simple carbs, you're inevitably going to eliminate the grain products. And remember, grain products are nothing more than they're starches, which are sugar molecules hooked together. And when they tear apart, it releases sugar in your blood. So that's an inflammatory process. So the grains can be, I'd say overall, grain products are unhealthy. Does that mean you should never have a roll or never have a piece of bread again in your life? No. But the diet and the eating habits of most Americans is largely consists of the consumption of simple carbohydrates. Mm-hmm. That is unhealthy. Occasionally, I'd have a little crust. Occasionally, I'll tear a crust off bread and butter it. Just have a little crust, maybe because I like the taste. I don't do that all the time, but I do that occasionally. And, but I basically stay off grain products. And the reason I do that is I'm eating ketogenically, which means I have a high oil and fat content in my eating program, coupled with healthy vegetables and a little bit of meat, and I usually eat fish. That's it. And I have salads, my regular salad, but I use natural olive oil and I use balsamic vinegar. That's my staple.
Well, and I do want to add, too, because I thought I would be one of those people that could never completely break free of bread or sugar. The amazing thing about the ketogenic, I shouldn't say diet, it's more of a lifestyle, right, is because it's so high in fat, your brain is satisfied. You don't have those cravings. And I was really shocked to discover that. So I'd highly encourage people to try that. You will find that you can do it.
So gluten sensitivity, again, is a reaction. And I've always thought of it and treated it as an allergic reaction to food. That's what it is. You're reacting. Certain people with a diathesis, a predisposition towards allergies, will be allergic not only to things they breathe in the air, we treat grass pollens, dust mite, mold spore, and animal dander, but also they can become allergic to foods. And it's the common foods: wheat, corn, egg, milk, yeast, soybean are the big six. And we see this in kids. So if your children, by any chance, have problems with recurrent and chronic eczema or recurrent earaches and other gastrointestinal problems or asthma or allergies or recurrent infections, what you might do first is to check to see if they have any food allergies. In the first place to start is by eliminating all wheat products, all grain products from their diet. And you go, well, they won't eat. Well, you know what? I had a son, remember, when he was much younger, and we had him a good, healthy eating plan. Well, he turned up his nose. He didn't want to eat. He wanted to have his bread, and he wanted to have his cereal and all that. We didn't have him on that. And so it took him about 24 to 36 hours of saying, I'm not going to eat this. Guess what? He ate I think that night we had broccoli and spinach, and he ate every last bit of it. Because when you're hungry, you're not going to starve yourself. You know,
It only
kids
goes so
get
long.
hungry. Kids get hungry enough, they're hungry enough, they're going to eat. So I'd recommend, I think just for good health, get off your grain products altogether. Just eliminate
A great
them.
start.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I do want to add to that, too, with the food sensitivities and the behavior, how that can modify behavior in children, not just adults. That book by Doris Rapp, Is This Your Child? Doris Rapp, R-A-P-P, is a really great resource for people. And also a great resource, you can always call us for a complimentary wellness consultation. We do treat for allergy here. All you have to do is give us a call at 281-698-8698. We'd love to be able to have a conversation with you about your health. Again, that's 281-698-8698. Thank you for joining us today here at Dr. Hotze's Wellness Revolution. Have a blessed day.
Information provided on this radio program is neither intended nor implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice and is not intended to replace the services of a physician, nor does it constitute a doctor-patient relationship. You should not use information from this radio program to diagnose or treat a health problem or disease without consulting with a qualified healthcare provider. If you have or suspect you have an urgent medical problem, promptly contact a professional healthcare provider or call 911. Dr. Hotze's Wellness Revolution radio program advises you to always seek the advice of a physician or other qualified health provider prior to starting any new treatment or with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. Any application of the recommendations from this radio program is at the listener's discretion.